are, that is dealers in precious metal and stone report. Here it is. You'll select it, and over here you'll have to key in some mandatory information. You will have to key in a reference number which is internal to you. Let's say that is report ID 1. That's the first report you're filing. Description of the report as per the mandate of the MOE, which is a legal obligation. You will have to, let's say, file reporting DPMSR to the FIU as per MOE's mandate to register a sale of AD of gold worth AD 90,000. There's another field which says actions taken by the reporting entity. Now, bear in mind, the fields over there might not sound very accustomed to this report type because the same fields cater to a variety of report types: the suspicious activity report, the suspicious transaction report. However, we'll take you through how you need to populate your fields for this particular report type, which is DPMSR. In terms of actions taken by the reporting entity, this basically is asking you what actions are you taking. So in this case, you filing a DPMSR as per the mandate. Once you fill that, once you will register, you will already have the MLRO details. MLRO essentially is a money laundering reporting officer, but in your case, it can be the person who is handling GoML or who is the compliance officer, or the MLRO if you are filing STRs and SARs too. And location of the incident is a field, is an expansion which will let you fill in the location of your establishment or where the sale occurred. So if I expand this, that will be business. Let's say we are taking an example of jewelry being sold or gold bullion being sold. Address would be shop number 1, Hamdan Street. City would be Abu Dhabi. Country would be United Arab Emirates. Comments can be, so whatever fields you see with asterisk marks over it are the mandatory fields, and you must fill them for the report to go through successfully. Reason for reporting is something which is very key. Reason for reporting is a list which is a multi-select, and basically you have to select the commensurate reason for reporting. That is, why are you submitting this report? So for you to file a successful DPMSR, it's easy for you to just key in DPMSR and you will be taken through the RFRs which are pertinent to this report type. Now there are 3 for this particular report type. The codes are DPMSJ, DPMSN and DPMSI. Basically, the one with the I is for an individual who is a resident in UAE and who's buying anything more than 55,000 dirhams. The one ending with J is for a juridical person or for an entity or for a company who's buying, and N is for a non-resident who is buying jewelry or any precious metal for more than 55,000. So let's see in this example, there's an individual who's living in UAE who's buying this jewelry, this gold, and I'll select this. You should not, if you are filing DPMSR, you should not select any RFR apart from these 3. Otherwise, there'll be a problem because these 3 are only those RFRs which are pertinent to this report type. So in this case, ideally, you'll select this one, you'll close it, and it should appear over here. Now is the main point. You will expand the section of activity. I do see that in the chat pop-up, there's some questions coming in. We'll have a dedicated time for questions and answers. And I also understand in case that there are some people in this webinar who just want some explanation in Arabic only. We have one of my colleagues who can chip in and who can explain this in Arabic. So report parties is what is the relation of that customer or entity who's involved and whom are you reporting this about. So in this case, significance is a field that you do not have to worry about right now. Reason is uh, this person is a buyer of gold, and because you have selected an individual, you'll have to click person. Now, when you click person, you'll have to populate the fields which are pertinent to that customer. So let's say Ahmad Ibrahim. As I said, the fields with the asterisk marks are mandatory. Emirates ID is something we will collect, so it will be 7841990. Nationality would be, let's say, Algerian. PEP, whether yes or no, whether this person is identified as a PEP or no. If you know that, you can employ that. If you have more details, what is the occupation, what is the employer name, so on and so forth, you can populate that too as well. I'm sure you would collect the passport in terms of non-residents, but for residents, you'll have the Emirates ID, which would be superseding the ID requirements. Phone number is something if you would collect, you'll populate over here. So let's say it's a mobile number, you'll take personal mobile number, country code will be 971, of course. You will put 050 let's say. Identification is something you will replicate it and you'll save this. I'm just taking you through a preliminary report type. And of course, if you have any questions going forward with a specific field type, you can ask that in our Q&A session. Now, goods and services is a field where you would elaborate on what was sold exactly, and you would also put the attachments which are commensurate to it. So in this case, what did you sell? Over here, it was gold being sold. So I would see what field is the most commensurate. So in this case, gold is specifically available. Description is bars of gold, let's say. Estimated value, as we said, it was 90,000 dirhams. How much did you invoice it at? Let's say, because there might be a difference. So in this case, let's say you invoiced it at 90,000 itself. So size is the quantity or the measure or the magnitude of it. So let's say you had sold 100 grams of it. So let's say 100, and UOM is unit of measurement. So we will say grams. Registration is basically the date when you invoiced it. So 1st of June. If you have an invoice number, you can populate it in the identification number and so on and so forth. And which currency was it sold at? So we'll select the United Arab Emirates dirhams. And here we go. We'll save this. We'll save this. And then to submit it to the FIU, we'll click the submit option. It'll ask basically that once you submit the report, make sure all the data is correct and you cannot edit it once it's successfully submitted. So we'll click yes, and it would say report has been submitted. But do not take this as a confirmation that your report was submitted in the correct manner, because you are yet to receive a confirmation. Now, for you to realize whether the report was all correct and all the fields were right, you'll have to go to a tab called submitted reports, and here there'll be a report which you must have just submitted right now. It'll be basically a list of all the reports which you have submitted thus far. So this is the report which we were working on right now, and we would see that the status right now is uploaded, and it takes from 1 to 5 minutes for the status to change from one step to another. The right processed report is the report which has been submitted to the FIU properly. So we'll wait for this to turn into processed, and this is what you can use to refresh it. So now it says transferred from web. Well, for you, it's a technical term that it has been taken from the web and it has been put to the FIU server. We'll refresh it again, and we'll refresh it until this part says processed. I do understand there's some questions coming in, and I told you that we'll be taking a Q&A session later. In the event that your report was not processed correctly, it will be rejected by the FIU, and I'll tell you how it will be rejected. If the status shows rejected something like this, you'll have to click it, and basically there'll be a message which will tell you that what were the fields in which there was a problem, because of which the report has been rejected. So in this case, the rejection has been done because of the description is not correct, or there's some field which was mandatory and the input is missing. So in that case, you have a facility that the FIU can revert the report, and once the report is reverted, it will be available as a draft for the next 15 days. So I'll show you that example, but first let's check the report we had just filed. So the report which we just filed got rejected because there's some error in the input. So let's see what was the ID number. So right now, the ID number of the person involved is mandatory, and hence I have not put the Emirates ID or the passport, one of them which is mandatory, and I'll have to do it again. So what you would do is you'll click the revert option. Once the report is reverted, that means it's been sent back to the reporting entity, which was, let's say, ABC Jeweler. I would go to draft reports and I'll click current report. When I'll do that, I'll be taken back and I'll go back to the same page where I was filing that report. And I was told that I have missed putting the ID number of that person. So where is that? I would go into the report parties. I'll click edit. And here was a person whom we were putting the ID number for. So there was a field called ID number. We'll go to that person's details specifically. And there was a tab called identification and ID number. So over here, since this field is mandatory, and if I have the Emirates ID, I'll just replicate it. So I'll copy it and I'll paste it. And for identification as well, I would select that we have the Emirates ID of this person, that is the number, this is the issue date, and that's the expiry date. And I'll save it. Now once I save this, I have basically worked on the same draft. This draft would be ideally available for only 15 days. After that, it would be gone. And this is basically for information security reasons. And I'll submit this report again. It will say the report has been submitted. Again, to make sure whether your report was submitted in the right manner or not, you would go to submitted reports, web report, and the same report number, the reference number, would be transferred from web. We'll wait until this is processed. So for you to get a confirmation, basically there are two ways. One is that the status over here should say processed. Another thing is, I'll come upon that. That is a tool called message board. That is a in-house tool within the GoML system, which is used for corresponding with the FIU. As it is taking some time, I'll just navigate to the message board to show you how it works. So last time when the report got rejected, there was a message. And if you click that, it'll expand through, and it is a message from the FIU to that reporting entity. It says that please refer to the attachments. Once you open the attachment, it's basically a letter from the FIU in an automated format, which says that the report was rejected and for the reason that the ID number was invalid, or it was absent. And if the report were to be fully accepted, so now we just got a message that the report is fully accepted. That means that the report has gone in well and it has cleared all those parameters which were required for it to be success. And also, if we have got this message, we would have got a processed mark over there. Here you go. So the last report which we were working on with the web reference number 3237/0/1, it has been processed and it's been filed successfully. Now, if I can request the hosts from MOA to facilitate a question and answer session where we can take one question by one, so that the audience they can